Bikes, Baits and Bits. Today we have a special delivery from Mr. David Silver.
The one who's addressing it.
So we have piston rings and circlips. So this means we can start reassembling the Super Dream, which is good. So that's what we're going to do. Right, so this is the new top ring. So this is 12 foul feeler gauge, and that is really tight on that. In fact, it's not quite going fully in. So that one's good.
You've only got to have the ring a little bit uneven in there, and you'll get a slightly bigger gap, won't you?
Yeah. So I'll just drop him out. I'll put number 2 ring in. I have every confidence that this one will also be okay. I think these are allowed a little bit more than number 2 ring, aren't they? Generally.
The top one's a compressed, isn't it?
Well, top 2 are compression. That looks even smaller.
Yeah. A bit level in there. Yeah.
Right, so here we go again. 12 foul.
Just.
Yeah, that's nice and tight. So just under the maximum, so spot on. So we'll leave those ones there so we know they're that side. They've got to go on that piston. I'll go get the other pack and we'll do the same again. Now the reason we do this is because sometimes when they're manufactured they'll get boxed wrong or not quite made right, and if you don't check the gaps and you haven't got a big enough gap, you can get half a mile up the road and that's it, your engine's seized, and then it's wrecked your ball, wrecked your pistons, all that sort of stuff. So, and the other sort of way of course is they could be too small. You could be putting them in with a bigger gap. Obviously you visually see these as smaller gaps, but it's nice to know we've got enough clearance as well as not. And what you generally get is a bigger gap with oil control rings, because these ones are correct. These are not genuine, but these are made by Nippon, who made the original ones for Honda. So we have every expectation of them being right. Now what you will also see, I don't know if you can now, that's got a beveled edge on it, as we mentioned before.
Yeah. You've got a step bezel there, that's in between, yeah.
And you've also got
slide over gap, you should have.
Oh no, they're the O-rings. Yeah. 2 stuck together. Right. Right, I don't know if you can pick up on that. There's a letter N there. Can you see it?
You might be able to.
Right, well even if you can't see it, that basically faces up. So if you follow that rule, you're not going to go wrong. So, and this is number 2 ring, which in this case is actually a bit thinner, but it also has
an
N right there.
Yeah. It's
quite easy to miss, and if you've not done this sort of stuff before, it's very easy to miss. But you can see that's a nice snug fit in there, but not too snug, so it doesn't go in that one. But we had them the wrong way round with the last set. Tell you what, I'll tie it in there. But yeah, they go. So, same again. Just going to snug him in. If you push it down with a piston, it keeps it nice and level. Especially if you make sure you've got the piston over the gap. Like that. Again, nice small gap. Just get some more standing in my own light.
That's tight, isn't it?
Yeah, that's proper tight. So that's 12 foul. Find 10. 16, 26, 14. I'm finding all the thicker ones. Oh, come on. Right, 10 foul. I reckon that'll just light again. It's a problem when it's sunny.
It's just in. Yeah, tight.
Yeah. I would say the gap there is about 9 foul. I think our tolerance is 8 to 10. So we'll take him out, put him back on there, check this one. Now if this one's alright, then we can assemble them all onto the pistons.
Just on.
But it is one of those steps a lot of people like to skip.
Until the engine is a locked up or it don't go anywhere.
Now, when I was an apprentice and worked in a commercial vehicle garage, we had all of our parts, pistons and liners, used to come as a complete set with rings and everything, and they were all pre-gapped, etc, etc, and we never checked them. And one day we had I think it was a Leyland TL12 engine. We just rebuilt, new liners, new pistons, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, that's spot on, Tim Fell. And took it out for the road test. We got, I don't know, 5 mile up the road. She nipped. Got it back, sure enough, rings had pinched and wrecked the new liner, etc. So stripped the motor again, put it in again. We had a dodgy batch of number 3 cylinders, because they used to come numbered with the cylinders as well, even though they're identical. But I think we had a dodgy batch of number 3 cylinders, and every single one, the rings hadn't been gapped. So that was what caused it. But that's, again, if you do your checks, you haven't got an issue. So that's one reason for doing it. So what we've got to do now is assemble the piston. Right, so here you can see we've got the rings in, and one thing I will say, on these ones, on the oil ring, you have to put the centre piece in first, and these go over top of the edge, otherwise it won't all fit in. And you still stagger the gaps. So we've got one gap there, we've got another one, well I just saw it, another one there. So that's on the oil ones, then we've got that one's there, and the other compression ring is around here. So that's kind of how it has to be. Because what you don't want is an easy line through the ring gaps.
The official, if the cameraman don't mind saying so, is 12 o'clock, 4 o'clock and 8 o'clock on the oil scraper, and then the top two, doesn't matter which way around you do it, it's 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock, as per Cosworth's instructions when assembling one of their engines on their line.
So we've dug the O-rings out of here, which are these ones there. We're just giving this a clean up because it's a bit oily and yucky and what have you. I guess I will be putting fresh oil on it very soon, but so just give that a wipe off so it's ready to go on. That's clean enough for a gasket to go on there, so don't really want to start scuffing it up when it's that clean to start with.
No, it's fairly good.
I mean, it seems this has been rebuilt and it's done nothing. It peed oil everywhere, so the guys offloaded it onto us. And
well, he had 3 or 4 bikes in there in bits, didn't he?
Yeah, and he said he didn't know what to do with them all because he tried to palm them onto us as well, but far too much money for them. Yeah, see there's a washer here. Just going to take him off. Sealing copper washer, that's for the cam chain tensioner. There will probably be one of those in there somewhere. Keep them there just in case. And that's kind of it. So I'll open up the new gasket set, which is here. We'll get these in, and then we'll get the pistons on. We've got the new gudgeon pin circlips in there. We only needed 2 because obviously
we haven't took the other.
That one's still in there, so we don't need to replace that. We just need to replace the ones that we removed. But
and not drop them.
Yeah, and not drop them because they're the only 2 we've got. We do not fit second-hand circlips. That's a no.
Yeah.
Not now, not ever. Not
Preferably Teflon buttons, but it's a road bike, so we'll let him off.
But what we'll do is when we're ready, we'll carry this through with the pistons in the sleeves so we know which piston's which, and we'll fit them up. Then everything has to have a real good dosing of oil. These are awkward. It's a 360 degree crank, so it's like an old British twin. So both pistons are either up or down at the same time. It's not 180 degree horizontal twin. Sorry, is it kind of shit today? It's not 180 degree vertical twin, it's a 360 degree vertical twin, but there's no barrel studs. So normally you would just ease the barrel down on the highest piston, let's get that one started, slide down, rotate, crank a bit, then work the next one in. We can't do that, so it's going to be fiddly.
But there is two of us, so
there's two of us, and we can't afford to break the rings. So that's what happens. You get nice whippy hands. You're trying to lower the barrels, and you slip, and all of a sudden you've got broken rings. Don't ask me how I know that.
yeah.
Right, let's get this opened up. So what we're doing here was we're putting a little bit of sealer on the gasket, because it's just a plain paper gasket really. These are not genuine Hondas, there's no sealing ring or anything like that on it. So purely for that reason we're going for belt and braces approach.
But not that much so it's going to squish out everywhere.
No, although to be fair, these won't anyway, because the bottom of the sleeve goes down there, doesn't it? So it's just a thin smear. We're using Loctite 5926, which is pretty much the same as Hylar Blue. Of course, the other thing it does is it holds the gasket in place. Well, that and the dowels do, so that's a good thing. But if you put too much on, because you've got like oilways here, so it starts squeezing out into there, and you can start getting
Bits in your filters and everything.
not only bits in your filters, but you can start blocking oilways, which is
Not good.
never a good thing. Just a little bit on there. Just missed it. So that's it.
Yeah.
One of those a little bit in front of the cam chain, and that is a point that will leak if it gets half a chance. So there's a little bit of excess there, so I'll rip the gasket trying to pull it out. That's a bit of blue roll. Next job is to oil the pistons. Copious quantities of oil all around the rings, and we'll squirt some on the piston crowns. Let's just work it around. The oil can's nearly empty, but we'll also oil the barrels before they go on, so we know everywhere's got plenty of slippery stuff waiting for the engine to pump it round, because it's back to that initial start up again. Some more there if you want, mate.
Yeah. This one I think is it. That'll do. I'm trying not to move the ring gap while I'm rubbing the oil in.
Yeah, I know.
That's a fatal mistake. Somebody, oh, they set it all and then move it all.
Right. So there's oil on the pistons. Doesn't really matter what oil it is as long as it's oil.
Slippy.
Yeah. So again, it's just for the initial start up. Oh, now we've got some. We'll get plenty around the barrels.
You got some on the gasket face and all on there, that white valve.
Yeah, we will in a sec. Right, so we're just going to knock the camera off now. We need both hands, both of us need both hands to do this. We don't want any accidents, so we can't really be holding the camera and working at the same time. So this barrel's all just oiled up, just wipe the gasket face off. That's it, that's them ready to go on. Wish us luck. We just narrowly avoided a major disaster. As you can see, we've got the barrels down, pistons all in, bit fiddly, but we got there. We just went to connect this up because you have to push this down to get the pin in for this, and I dropped it, and of course what happened, it went for that bolt hole there, and we just had to lift the barrels a little bit, set of artery forceps, and we just managed to get it out without stripping the engine. Yeah, this stuff is always there to test you, that's for sure. Happens to anybody. So we managed to avoid dropping the piston circlips and dropped that instead. But there.
No, we.
All right,
There's no
all right.
we.
I dropped it instead.
I retrieved it.
Yes. You're going to put it in while I line the fucking.
Right. I'll try a bit of string round it first. You've got the camera on, haven't you? Down a bit, down a bit. There you go. You've got to come through the little side now.
Okay. Yeah, that's through.
There's a circlip and there's a little clip on that.
Yeah, that's our clip right here. Just need to turn it so I can see the hole.
Take a bit of tension off of that, might help. Got it?
Yep. Yeah.
Sorted.
Yep. Right, let's clean the top down. We'll find the rest of the dowels and stuff that we've put in various safe places.
Oh, we know where they are, don't we?
Yeah, somewhere. Let's see there.
I'll say we had a really lucky escape there, boy.
We did indeed. Right, this is the front tensioner blade. So this just drops down there, and locates in there like that. And this one just pushes back and you lock it down with the... At the moment it's just pushing the barrels up, so we ain't going to worry about it too much. But you get the idea. So we've got to get the oil off of this, but we need to find all these first. So, and we've got some new rubbers for these back ones. So we'll go find all the bits.
Right, cameraman's going to stop shaking his hands and have a cigarette.
Right, so we've just come to a standstill. As you can see here, we are a dowel missing. We could pinch one out of the rocker gear just to get the head on, but there's no point. So we're going to call it a day at this point. I'm going to get another dowel ordered. It won't be too much.
Yeah, we don't think we've lost it. We don't think we've just checked back on the videos ourselves, and it looks like we didn't have it to start with.
Yeah. So that gives us chance to, during the week, while we're waiting for that to turn up, we're going to pull the valves out of the head, lap them in, new valve stem seals, get those back together, and that'll be.
You're going to do the cylinder head, and I'm going to do the carbs.
Yeah, there you go. And we've got the carbs to rebuild as well, which I've got some rebuild kits for. So yeah, it's not a total loss, because it gives us a chance to get the head rebuilt. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to leave it right here for today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you all very soon. Goodbye.